forward is a 6-foot junior. Number 31 is Courtney Sanders. He's one of the big scoring guns. He had 15 points in the game against Bernie. He had 21 points, though, again in the game against Poplar Bluff. A 6'2 sophomore starting at the other forward position. That's Scott Collins, number 43. And at the center position for the Bulldogs will be a 6'5 junior, Tony Vincent, number 51. He had 23 points against the Bulldogs, but he only had 8 points the other night against Bernie. Coach Dick Waddlington said that he's going to have to get after this guy. He'll be starting Travis Clark, but he may have to bring 6'7 Fred Ruddy in to guard this Vincent kid. So here are the starting lineups now for the Tigers. At a guard position is a 5'10 senior, Antoine Ross. He'll be wearing number 10. He had 23 points in the game against Jackson earlier this week. Number 11 at a guard position is Alonzo Taylor, 5'8 and a senior. Taylor had 16 points. A 3-forward starting lineup for the Tigers tonight. Neil Askew, one of those forwards, a 6-foot junior. Askew had 10 points earlier this week. Jason Pullen is another forward, starting 6'2 and a junior. Jason Pullen, number 13. And the third forward for the Tigers tonight, 6'2 and a junior, is Travis Clark. Clark had 4 points against the Jackson Indians earlier this week. Clark wears number 22. Ladies and gentlemen, now before the start of the ball game, let's enjoy our national anthem. Central High School pep band with the national anthem tonight, and our color man gives us a little bit of color as the national anthem concludes, and Bob Levy says, let's get ready to rumble. So we're ready to go with the starting point of this ball game, 8 minutes in the first quarter. In the junior varsity contest tonight, the junior Tigers defeated the Bulldogs in a 20-point margin, 54-24 in the JV game here tonight. They led throughout the ball game and ended up on top. So Central with one win tonight here at the Orange Bowl. The last time these two teams met, December the 5th, 63-54, the second game of the season for the Tigers. They were winners down at Sikeston, but as we said, the Bulldogs could come up and bite you here tonight. So the Tigers are going to have to stay that intense offensive threat that they've been. The tip goes to Taylor, to Antoine. Antoine drives the lane, and an early foul here against the Bulldogs. That foul will go against Tony Vincent. Foul on the floor, so there's no shot taken. Inbounds underneath the basket. Rebound goes down to Pullen. Pullen puts it in, or misses off the rim, so both teams cold here in early going. Bulldog basketball, top of the key. Most knocked away. Shot taken by the Bulldogs, rims out. That's Pullen with the rebound. Still no score here, the first 30 seconds. No score in the contest. It's Taylor over in the corner to Askew. Underneath to Pullen. Pullen off the glass, and he scores. So the Tigers draw the first blood tonight, up 2-0. Pressure in the backcourt. The Tigers will go man-to-man almost all night long. That's Ivy. Ivy in the corner to Scott Collins, a sophomore. Back on top is Ivy. Again in the corner to Collins. Brings it back out. Across the top. Shot by Ivy, and that's good. Ivy scores a 3 for the Bulldogs. Zone defense now by the Bulldogs. They're going to switch back and forth, man-to-man and zone. Pullen driving the baseline. And he's forced out of bounds. Good body check there by Tony Vincent. No foul call. So a turnover against the Tigers. And the Bulldogs will inbound far into the court, man-to-man pressure by the Tigers. Ivy brings it across the timeline. That's McPeters now. Tipped out of bounds by Pullen. Ball will go to the Bulldogs underneath the basket. Vincent will inbound. Tosses over to Collins in the corner. Skip pass to Ivy at the top of the key. McPeters back into the corner. Vincent trying to post up on the low post. Over to the far corner. That's Sanders. Sanders' ball knocked away by Pullen. Pullen's on the break, 2-on-1. There's Askew, and it's kicked out of bounds. That goes off the foot of number 31, Courtney Sanders. So the Tigers inbound under their own basket. 3-2, 2 shots taken. 3-point basket by the Bulldogs, and a 2-point basket. There's a long three tried by Ross. Off the back of the basket, no good. Ivy against the man-to-man pressure of the Tigers. Over to the corner, that's Collins. Drives top of the key. Pulls up at the free throw line and scores. Scott Collins, his first points of the evening, and the Bulldogs with an early 5-2 lead. With 5:46 to go in the first quarter. There's a long bomb attempt by Askew, no good. Pullen came down to the rebound, is knocked out of bounds underneath there by Courtney Sanders, so the Tigers once again inbound underneath their own basket. Askew will throw it in. It's Ross. Ross throws it into Clark. Clark with the turnaround rejected by Vincent. On the floor, good hustle on the part of Clark and McPeters. The ball goes up on the alternate possession. It goes over to the Bulldogs. So Clark had his first turnaround jumper from about 8 feet rejected by the 6'5" Vincent. Good clean block by Vincent. Good defense by the Bulldogs in the early going. Backing across the timeline, that's McPeters. Throws into the corner to Sanders. Now Ivy will set up the offense. Again, posting up is Vincent, but they don't see him. There's Collins in the corner. He tries a three. No good. Rebound. Put back up there by Sanders. And Ross comes down with the rebound. He's going to drive all the way in, and he's fouled from behind. That'll go on the floor, so it will not be a shooting foul. Foul goes against Joe McPeters.
Yes, 15.
First foul on Joe McPeters. That's the second team foul. Into Pullen to turn around again. Vincent rejects it. There's Ross from 15 on the wing, and he's got it. So Antoine Ross opens up his scoring drive for the night. It's a 5-4 Bulldog lead. Again, a trapping pressure, but Ivy goes right through that and goes to the hole. No good. Rebound pulled down by Pullen. Outlet pass to Taylor. Taylor is double teamed in the corner, but he gets it away to Ross. There's Pullen. Pullen drives the baseline. Underneath, the reverse, no good. Travis Clark. And a basket. So a good offensive board there for number 22, the 6'2 junior. A 5-second call against the Bulldogs. Pressure on the inbound pass. Forces a turnover against the Dogs. And so the Tigers once again inbound under their own basket. They lead for the first time tonight since they made the first 2 points. They led 2-0. Bulldogs answered with a 3. Then we're up by 5-2. Now the Tigers have come back. There's Ross for a long one, no good. And another offensive rebound. This is Alonzo Taylor. So 2 points each for Ross, Taylor, Pullen, and Clark. Have the Tigers up 8-5 with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. All the way down the line and through the lane, wide open, goes Joe McPeters for his first 2 points. Central's defense didn't give him the help there. They're playing the man-to-man defense. Nobody came over to help on that. So McPeters made the easy lane drive and the 2-point basket, and we're 8-7. The Tigers on top, 3:45 to go. Into the lane, that's Pullen. Pullen the turnaround, no good. Tipped out, rebounded by McPeters. Good move by Pullen underneath there. He couldn't get it to go down, got the front iron. In the corner, that's Sanders. Now a skip pass over to Collins from Ivy. Collins will put it up, and it goes long. Pulling at the rebound, quickly out to Taylor. Taylor drives to the top of the key, goes in, left-handed layup, and it's good. Alonzo 0. Taylor with 4 points. And it's a 10-7 Tiger lead. Quickly down court, that's McPeters. Lob pass goes into Vincent, almost knocked away by Pullen. Now the left-hander does the turnaround. Travis Clark guarding him. Tony Vincent for his first 2 points, and it's a 10-9 ball game. So good action here in the first quarter. Into the corner underneath, nice pass, nice assist there. Give an assist there to Neil Askew with a great pass underneath to Travis Clark. Clark with his 4 points. There's a steal knocked away by Askew. Underneath the drive, Askew, a give and go. Askew opens up his scoring, his first 2 points of the evening. So the backcourt pressure forced a turnover and a quick basket there. Askew and Ross working well together. 14-9 Tigers. In the corner is Collins for the Bulldogs. The middle post to Vincent. Vincent does the turnaround. This time it won't go. Tipped around and finally grabbed by Askew. Ross down quickly, and he drives the lane and throws it up and in. 4 points for Antoine Ross. Ross had 23 and a timeout here for the Bulldogs. Antoine Ross got the rebound, and he went 85 feet down the length of the court for the basket as he drove the lane, hardly contested. Earlier, Joe McPeters for the Bulldogs went coast to coast. Here comes Ross as he comes in. He looks left, now turns around, goes up. Great leaping ability, and just gently flips it over the rim. So we had good action here in the early going, Bobby.
Well, I tell you what, kind of everything you talked about earlier in the pregame, Dave. And I think you've got to be impressed with the way the Cape Central Tigers have come out playing an aggressive defense. Travis Clark, Jason Pullen inside have really been aggressive, fronting the Vincent, the big man, for Sikeston, and I think that's going to be a big factor in our success so far early this evening.
Well, Dick Waddington said that he's going to have a good effort to shut these guys down early. And the Bulldogs enjoyed a lead for a while. They led about 6-2, or rather 5-2, after they made it 3 and a deuce. But the Tigers came storming back. Into the lineup now for the Sikeston Bulldogs. Number 33 is Sean Ruffin. He's a 6-foot junior. Ruffin had 17 points in the last ball game against Bernie. McPeters into Ruffin. Ruffin's first effort is blocked by Antoine. And there's Taylor coming down. Alonzo turns around and drives again, throws it up left-handed, no good. Rebound goes underneath there to Sanders. Sanders gives it to McPeters. McPeters tries to drive the center, and he's fouled. A reaching foul there on Antoine Ross. That'll be the first foul in Ross, and the first team foul of the half. 1:40 to go here in the first quarter with the Tigers up 16-9. Inbound by Vincent. Vincent over in the corner to Collins. Collins to Ruffin, now back on the top of the post, McPeters. Into the corner, that's Ruffin. McPeters. Central in his own defense now. Played man most of the evening, but now they're back in the man defense. Looked like a sagging zone. They were just playing a little back. There's Ruffin for a 3, no good. Rebound is by Vincent. Vincent's effort no good. Another shot taken there by Sanders, and that doesn't go. Central fans want an over-the-back call. But the foul will go against the Tigers, and it'll go against Neil Askew. So the Bulldogs with 3 offensive boards. Nothing goes in, and they'll inbound underneath their own basket. Ruffin at the top of the key to McPeters. McPeters sets the offense. Into the corner, looking for Vincent. Vincent back there by Pullen. Pullen has his hands full. We're going to call a traveling violation there, and that goes against Courtney Sanders, so a turnover forced by the Tigers. Jason Pullen playing back behind the big 6'5" Tony Vincent. Handling to this point pretty well. Vincent with only 2 points. That's Askew. Nice look underneath. Give and go from Clark to Pullen, and it's 2 for Pullen, and Pullen has his 4th point of the evening. There's a steal by Askew, or rather by Taylor. Carelessness on the inbounds pass by the Bulldogs. Another turnover. Tigers leading 18-9 with a chance to make it a 10 or 11 point lead. Askew drives, flips underneath the Pullen. Maybe a bad look there. Askew got off his feet, kind of was in no man's land and had to give it to somebody. There's almost a steal. That's Collins. Collins is blocked. Sikeston's bench wants a foul called on that, but they say Askew got the ball, and the ball goes out of bounds off the Tigers. Bulldog basketball. Collins drives through the paint. Shot taken there by Sanders, no good. Rebound comes to Pullen. Outlast pass goes to Taylor. Taylor hesitates, then drives underneath, gets deep in the no man's land, can't get it to go, and that's the end of the first quarter. From half court, Vincent at the buzzer almost nails a big long three, but it falls short. And so the Central Tigers lead 18-9 at the end of the first quarter at the Orange Bowl here tonight. We'll be back with more action in the Central Sikeston Tilt right after this message. Live at the Orange Bowl, the start of the second quarter, the Central Tigers inbounded. They went down to set their offense. They passed it around to the corner and then got a little careless with the ball, so it's out of bounds on the Tigers and a turnover against the Tigers, and so the Bulldogs with the chance to score first here in the second quarter. Inbounding is Ruffin. Ruffin tosses to McPeter, then back to Ruffin. Ruffin crosses the timeline. It's McPeters. Collins at the top. Ruffin looking to post into Vincent. Goes it to Sanders. There's a drive by McPeters. He goes underneath, gets caught up, and he has to toss it up a little off balance. No good. Pulling at the rebound. Down court, it's Taylor. Taylor underneath to Askew. Askew gets his defenders off his feet. He got both Sanders and Collins in the air, and then Neal pushed it up. They'll give the foul to Courtney Sanders, his first. That's a third team foul, and it will be a shooting foul. No, it won't be a shooting foul. I thought Askew had him up in the air, and he was going up for the basket, but Donnie Metz shakes off the grin of Neil Askew and says, nope, it was on the floor, and we're not in a bonus, so take the ball out, Central. That's Taylor. Corner for Askew. Askew looks underneath, brings it back out to Ross. Ross for three, short, pull and rebound, turnaround, and a nice offensive board. Mason Pullen, 6th point of the evening, and is almost another 5-second call against the Bulldogs. The Central Tigers have forced one tonight. Cross court to Ruffin. Nice combination there between Sanders and Ruffin, but it wouldn't go. It's Collins with the board, tipped by Ruffin. Again, now finally pulled down by Askew, and here come the Tigers on the transition. Well, looked like Askew got up in the air, and they say apparently that was a block, and the ball was knocked away, so there was no foul, no jump ball. Here we see as he comes underneath there, wrestling them with the ball. Looks like McPeters, but there's no violation. The ball's knocked out of bounds by the Bulldogs. Tigers bring it in. There goes McPeters. McPeters with the drive. Then he hesitated underneath the basket. He's fouled from behind by Alonzo Taylor. Taylor with his first foul, the third team foul of the evening. So the first free one to be shot tonight. McPeters will be at the line. He'll have a pair. Tigers up 20-19. First one by McPeters is no good. Both of them short off the front of the rim, and McPeters misses two freebies. So the Bulldogs continue to trail here by 11 points. The ball almost goes out of bounds, saved by Ross in the far corner. Taylor sets the offense for the Tigers. Askew in the corner. Tigers have yet to substitute in the ball game. Through the first 8 minutes, now 2 minutes gone in the second quarter. Taylor drives. Oh, he tried to get underneath to Clark. Clark was breaking out into the high post instead of to the baseline, and the turnover goes to the Bulldogs. That's Collins for three in the corner. No good. Pullen, and he'll be fouled. Pullen playing a good ball game tonight. Charge the foul to number 31, Courtney Sanders. You see the ball comes out. There's Sanders grabbing Pullen's arm. So the fourth team foul will go into the bonus after the next foul against the Bulldogs. Matt Boren now into the lineup at the point for the Tigers. Ross over in the corner for Askew. Now back out on the wing. Changes his dribble, does Matt Boren. Toss it over to Askew. Askew to the high post. That's Travis Clark. Clark gets caught 3-on-1. Puts it up. No good. Rebound attempt by Matt Bourne, and Bourne comes down without his feet underneath him and hits on his shoulder. That gives Bob Levy, football coach, a little gasp, seeing his future quarterback of next year go down hard. Referee Donnie Metz asking Matt Bourne, is he all right? That's the 5th foul. Foul goes against Joe McPeters. So we'll have a 1-and-1 chance for Matt Bourne just in the ball game here. Bourne's first free throw, kicks around and falls. So Bourne now has the Tigers up 21-9, the biggest lead of the game, 12 points for the Tigers. Bourne's second one catches all net. So Bourne with 2 points, and the Tigers now with the 13-point lead. The Bulldogs have yet to score in the second quarter. Score at the end of the first quarter was 18-9. McPeters for the Bulldogs against the man-to-man defense of the Tigers. That's Collins looking in. That's Ruffin as he drives through the paint with a nice pass from McPeters, but he fails to make the basket. And the Bulldogs have gone ice cold here in the second quarter, and they've yet to score as we've just gone past 5 minutes to go. Travis Clark on the high post, drives the lane. Nice basket. Travis Clark with 6 points. A good feed there by Askew. Here comes Ruffin. Ruffin has it knocked away and stripped by Ross. Ross drives, gives it off to Askew. Askew can't find the handle. Everybody in the Orange Bowl thought maybe it was Dunk City coming up here, but the Bulldogs got back on defense. Their coach, Mike Foster, said one of the things he was going to ask his kids to concentrate on was to get back and defend against that quick transition game of the Tigers. Tigers get the Bulldogs in the corner, almost force a turnover, but the Bulldogs break the press. And a timeout here called, their second by the Bulldogs. 4 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the second quarter. The Central Tigers up 24-9. Can't buy a basket, those Bulldogs can't, Bobby.
No, they can't, but I'll tell you what, Dave, I'm going to give an awful lot of that credit to our aggressive defense of the Tigers. I think Coach Waddlington has really got these kids excited about playing tonight, and particularly about playing that tough pressure defense. And, you know, I visited with the kids in the hall today, and they were ready to play this ball game, and some of their comments in the newspapers that we're coming together. It's that time of the year, and looks like Coach has got them headed his way tonight.
Well, they've got Tony Vincent, who had a 23-point outing 2 games ago with only 2 points through the first quarter of play. They've got Courtney Sanders, who averaged 21 or had 21 and 15 points in his last 2 games without a score. And you don't hold those kinds of double-figure scores scoreless for 12 minutes of basketball unless you are playing some pretty good defense. There's Dick Waddlington, the head coach of the Tigers. So the Bulldogs call their second time out of the game, trailing here by 15 points, biggest lead for the Tigers. Having trouble inbounding now into the backcourt, that's Collins. McPeters guarded by Bourne. Now that's Sanders with the turnaround, and he's blocked by Jason Pullen. But Pullen's going to be charged with the foul. That's his first foul, and it's a 4th team foul against the Tigers.
On the Tigers, number 13, Jason Pullen.
So the Bulldogs go to the line for the second time this evening.
Line number 31.
McPeters missed on 2 chances earlier. This will be Courtney Sanders, and he'll shoot a pair. Kicks around and falls. First point of the second quarter for the Bulldogs. Comes at the free throw line. 24-10, Central leading in the second quarter. This one bounds off, and the rebound knocked out by Bourne. Bourne had the shooter cut off, and he tipped it out. There's Ross for a pull-up at the free throw line, and good. Ross with his 6th point. So Ross shows good body control, driving at full speed, pulling up at the free throw line on the elbow, and scores and knocks it down. But now he comes back and he'll be charged with a foul on the other end. That's the second foul against Ross. That'll put the Bulldogs 15 foul. And that'll put the Bulldogs into the bonus. Both teams now in the bonus after 5 fouls go against each club. Checking into the lineup, 6'7", junior Fred Ruddy, number 51.
At the line for the Bulldogs, number 43.
Replacing Jason Pullen. Pullen had a good game, has 6 points, 1 foul. Scott Collins with a 1-and-1. Kicks in and out, and Ruddy gets a rebound and fields the ball for the first time tonight. Here comes Ross on the drive. Zone defense by the Bulldogs. Boren at the point. Ruddy at the post, into the paint. His first shot on basket, off the glass, it's good.
Basket by number 51 for the Tigers, Fred Ruddy.
28-10, Tigers on top. There's a steal by Matt Boren. Again, another turnover against the Bulldogs. Central's had about 3 on that full court press on the inbounds pass after the basket. Ross on the drive, goes all the way in, and good. Ross with a head fake. Ross has 8 points. Again, kicked away by Boren. Stolen away by Askew. Jam City. Down court pass to Collins. Collins fakes, gets Travis Clark off his feet, then shoots the deuce. So Scott Collins with his 4th point of the evening. And it's run and gun time as there goes Askew again. McFeeters had Antoine's hand, but no foul was called. Good look by Boren and Askew. Askew with 6. The Tigers up 34-12, 2:40 to go in the second quarter.
Inspired basketball team tonight, Dave. It's an inspired Tiger ball club tonight, Dave. Really impressive defensively and hustling on offense.
Turnaround in the paint. Nice move by Tony Vinson. Vinson with his 4th point, 34-14. Coast to coast goes Antoine Ross. Comes off the back iron, over into the bench of the Bulldogs. Substitutions for the Tigers. Sean Van checks in along with Charles Rivas. Van's 21, Rivas is 50. So we thought we was going to see the first coast-to-coast against the Bulldogs by Antoine, but Antoine couldn't quite get the angle on it.
Not many times, Dave, will we see Antoine miss the slam, but he did here tonight.
Again, you got to give the Bulldogs a little credit. They were back on him. They had somebody in his face, so it wasn't an uncontested jam. There's a turnover. Pass knocked down by the Bulldogs. McFeeters into the corner. There's Ruffin for 3, no good. Knocked out of bounds. Almost saved there by Ross. But it goes off his fingers, so it goes over to the Bulldogs. 34-14 and even 2 minutes to go in the second quarter of basketball here at the Orange Bowl. The Tigers on top. And Dick Waddlington now making substitutions. 6'1" junior Mario Bell checks in. Boren goes out. Collins in the corner. Collins is a sophomore. McFeeters on top, over to the corner. That's Sanders. Moving around the top of the key, there's a feed in to Vinson. Vinson with the left-handed turnaround again, and he's fouled. Charles Rivas going to be whistled for the violation. Rivas with his first foul, as here we see the replay. You can see he gets him right on the arm, and it causes the ball to go short. So a good call there by official Donnie Metz. Tony Vinson. There's a name Southeast basketball fans that remember. Anthony Vinson played for the Indians a few years ago. Vinson misses his first charity toss. Vinson has 4 points on the night. Makes this one. Makes it 5. And it's a 34-15 Tiger lead. Now the Bulldogs in a man-to-man defense. Ruddy against Vinson there in the top of the key. Ross on the drive. And he gets it all the way. So a nice screen set up here on the wing by Charles Rivas, and Ross scores his 10th point of the evening. Ball kicked around on the floor, goes up. It's going to be Charles Rivas again on the foul, as the Tigers really didn't get back on defense then. Rivas comes in and gets 2 quick personals. That'll put Sanders, Courtney Sanders at the line. He'll shoot 1 in the bonus. Or they'll give him 2 shots, saying it was a shooting foul. Cans the first one. He made 1 out of 2 the last time there. Go ahead, Bobby.
Well, Coach Waddlington's gone to his bench early in this game with a comfortable edge and getting some valuable experience and keeping it close yet here at the half.
That one falls off. Rivas gets the board. Here comes Sean Van quickly down court. And it comes off his knee, almost loses it. There's Mario Bell. Now at the point is Ross. Ross again drives. Had a good look underneath, but it was knocked away by the Bulldogs. And they caused the steal. Trailing here by 20 with 1:12 to go in the second quarter. Man-to-man by the Tigers. That's Collins. Knocked away by Ross. Here we go.
Showtime, Dave!
Antoine Ross. Antoine Ross with the steal and the jam.
Showtime here at the Orange Bowl, Dave. What a stuff.
Here's a replay. He's going to do the 180 reverse jam. Slammo. During that replay, Sean Van whistled for the violation, his first. McPeters will be shooting 1-and-1. And the bench has been cleared now as Mark Thompson, number 15, a 5'9" junior, comes in for the Tigers. First one by McPeters is good. McPeters has 3 points on the evening. Tony Benson, the leading scorer for the Bulldogs, with 5. This one goes in also. 4 points for McPeters. Here come the Tigers. There's Ruddy underneath on the corner. No good. Rivas with the rebound and an offensive board for Rivas. And he scores his first basket and points of the evening. It's a 40-18 Tiger lead. 35 seconds to go in the second quarter. Bulldogs trying to set up for the last shot of the half. That's McPeters. Outside to Ruffin. 19 seconds to go. Sanders, air ball. He throws it up. Here comes Mario Bell down the other way for the Tigers. Skip pass over to Van. 7 seconds. Underneath, good look by Mark Thompson. Good pass by Thompson. Give an assist to Mark Thompson, and that's the end of the first half. Ruddy with his 4th point of the evening, and so the Tigers have put on a clinic here in the first half of basketball at the Orange Bowl.
Dave, I tell you, it's been a great first half, and probably as good a basketball as I've had a chance to see the Tigers play this year. Certainly an exciting first half. Great job, Coach, as he walks by us on the way to the dressing room. 42-18, the Tigers just dominated this ball game. They led 18-9 at the end of the first quarter. And they come back. The Bulldogs scored 9 points in the first quarter, 9 points in the second quarter. The Tigers scored 18 in the first quarter and about 24 in the second quarter, and so they really dominated here in the second quarter of action. A great defensive effort, too, as we said earlier. The Bulldogs had about 3 people in double figures. Courtney Sanders had 15 points and 21 points in his last 2 games. He has 2 free throws here tonight, that's all. Sean Ruffin had 17 points in the last contest. He's failed to score as he came in and played most of the second quarter. Scott Collins had 14 points in last week's contest. He has 4 tonight. Tony Benson, who had 23 points against the Bulldogs, only has 5. So a real strong defense by the Tigers here and held the Bulldogs for only 18 points. We'll be back at the Orange Bowl. For the second half of action, we'll take a look at the Central Tiger Pom-Pom squad right after this important message from Channel. Enjoying a 42-18 first half lead as the Central Tiger Pom-Pom squad out on the floor. The ladies who participate in the Pom-Pom squad, Bobby, are an important part of the spirit here at Cape Central Athletic Activities. So Dave, they really are, and these girls are tireless workers. I know a lot of times I'm in the weight room with our players and all our athletes, and the girls are still upstairs when we're going home, and oftentimes that's 5:30, 6 o'clock. And I think a special thanks to Julie Davis for all her hard work in this effort, too.
All right, we're here live on Cable Channel 28, and we'd like to introduce you to a new place that Ron Duff with TCI Cablevision Video has found that he'd like to have you learn about here tonight. Mike's Red Hots, located at 559 North Spring Avenue. Quite a menu of quick sandwiches, the Polish sausage and the bratwurst. If you were from Milwaukee, you'd know that bratwurst is good eating. Italian beef and sausage combos, and so stop by Mike Red Hot sometime, right next to Fisherman's Net Restaurant on Broadway, and a couple of good places. Mike's Red Hot's the place you might want to stop by after the ball game. Bobby, you think you might head over there?
Dave, I'll tell you what, I'll just meet you there afterward for a brat. How'd that be?
That'd be really good. Might have to go get a cold one someplace too, Coach. Are you rodeoing this weekend?
I tell you, I was up in the slack last night, Dave. I was 5 flat and was placing last night, but it won't last. It's too long. I'm getting too old, I think.
Is Bobby Jr. Doing a little rodeoing this weekend?
He was up last night as well in the slack, and he and his hazer didn't get together. He caught a lot of air, so it's a tough weekend for the levies. But there's another one tomorrow. We're going to go to Auburn Hills, Michigan next week, and Bowling Green, Kentucky. So sometimes you don't always do as good as you'd like. You just keep going.
You're wrestling, you're steer wrestling. That's your specialty, right?
At my age, if there's a specialty, Dave, yeah, that's what I do.
I tell you, that takes more guts and sense, my friend. But I'll leave that to you if that's what winds your clock.
Thank you, Dave.
The Cape Central High School Pom-Pom Squad. .42-18 is our halftime score here at the Orange Bowl with the Cape Central Tigers on top. Let's review the scoring in the ball game tonight. Pretty simple to review the scoring for the Sikeston Bulldogs. They are led in their scoring this evening by 6'5" junior Tony Vinson. Vinson, with 1 free throw and 2 field goals, has 5 points on the evening. Scott Collins, a 6'2" sophomore, the only sophomore on the floor here tonight, has 4 points on 2 field goals. Courtney Sanders had 15 points in their last contest against Bernie, had 21 points in their big win 87-57 over Poplar Bluff, but Courtney Sanders has been limited to only 2 points, those coming in 2 out of 4 from the free throw line. Carlos Ivey, a 5'8" junior, opened up the scoring for the Bulldogs with a tray. He put the Bulldogs on top for the only time this evening when they scored a 3-point answer to the 2 points that the Central Tigers had scored to open up the scoring. So Carlos Ivey with 3, and Joe McFeeters has 4 points on field goal and 2 free throws, and that totals the 18 points for the Sikeston Bulldogs. Some of the fans. Well, that's probably the biggest basketball fan in southeast Missouri right there, Coach. That's right, big swimming fan. She won't miss a basketball game if there's any way. She's looking for a ride to Kirksville tomorrow, trying to get up there to see the Indians and Bulldogs. Here's the scoring now for the Cape Central Tigers, and they've had plenty of it. They've been led in the scoring tonight by Antoine Ross. Antoine Ross with 6 field goals, including a half-court rip and 180 two-hand jam that closed out his scoring here in the first half. Antoine Ross with 12 points. Alonzo Taylor has 4 points. Neil Askew has 6. Jason Pullen has 6. Travis Clark with 6 points. Matt Bourne scored a pair of free throws. He's perfect 2 for 2 from the free throw line as he came in the second quarter and canned both of those charity tosses. Charles Rivas on an offensive rebound put it right back in for his 2 points in the evening. Rivas came in and got 2 quick personal fouls playing the aggressive defense that Dick Waddlington has asked his ball club to play tonight. And Fred Ruddy, 6'7" junior, has 2 field goals, 2 nice turnaround jumpers. The left-hander has 4 points on the evening, and that totals the 42 points for the Central Tigers. TCI Channel 28 programming activities over the weekend include the Kenny Rogers Telethon. Let's take the time out here and let's listen to this important message.
do that for me, Dave. Back at halftime, and quite a ball game it is for the Tigers. Dave, I mentioned it earlier, but I'm as excited about this basketball team as I've been all year. Coach Waddlington and Coach Call have really been drilling the youngsters in practice, and it legitimately looks like we're ready to play coming down the stretch this time of the year.
Well, the Tigers have a couple of ball games still on the schedule before they get into postseason play. They'll meet Belleville-Altoff on the 13th. That's next Tuesday night. And then a week from tonight here at the Orange Bowl, they'll take on DeSmet. DeSmet, a big powerhouse in the St. Louis area. That should be a good game next Friday night. And I believe we'll be telecasting that ball game as well here 1 week from tonight at the Orange Bowl. Then the Tigers round out their season on the road against the, Dragons of DeSoto, aren't they? The Dragons?
Yes, sir.
And that will round out Tiger play. So the quickness, whenever you ask anybody about the Tiger Ball Club, they talk about the quickness. And boy, you have that with Antoine Ross and Taylor, and they don't lose anything when they go to their forward position with Askew and Pullen. So that quickness of the Tigers has really carried them well here tonight up to a 42-18 halftime lead.
You know, Dave, I think another significant factor that everybody on the floor for the Tigers are jumpers, and not only that, they're quick jumpers. And we've got the state champion in the high jump in Travis Clark, and obviously Antoine Ross, and Jason Pullen, Neil Askew. So the whole bunch can get up in the air and do it very quickly.
Tigers go with Ross, Taylor, Askew, Pullen, and Clark, the same five that they began the ball game with. The Bulldogs will go with McPeters and Ivy and Sanders and Collins and Benson. So both clubs start with their same, and an early turnover goes to the Tigers, and it's a 4-on-2 break. Nice pass in there by Askew to Alonzo Taylor, and Taylor has his 6th point of the evening and the first points for the Tigers. So the Bulldogs started with the ball in bounds, but they couldn't move it into the hole. There's McPeters, drives. Now he gets help this time. Tosses it off to Sanders. Sanders stutter steps but doesn't have it called. And there's the rebound by Clark. And the Tigers go on the offense, setting their offense for the first time. A transition basket open to scoring for the Tigers. Now the Tigers go into the corner. A nice pass underneath to Clark, but it's knocked away. And a turnover against the Tigers. There's Ivy. McPeters looking in, trying to hit Vincent. Now Vincent gives him a screen, and McPeters goes underneath but misses the chippy. And here come the Tigers back. There's Taylor. Ooh, good look underneath to Pullen, but a little too quick as Pullen couldn't get his hands that far.
Sometimes we're just a little too quick, Dave. And Alonzo's got extremely quick hands, great floor sense, great floor security. Just a little too quick on the pass to Jason Pullen.
Pullen went over to Pullen went over to Taylor and said, "Nice pass, my fault." Tiger foul against Ross. Ross with his 3rd foul, the first personal.
I think if Antoine's got one detriment is he gets just a little too excited on defense and picks up some cheap ones, Dave.
No, you don't want to throttle back that aggressive defensive play, though. There's Ivy trying a 3 and draws nothing but 0-2. And Travis Clark's going to be whistled for the foul, trying to work around the post of Tony Vincent. Clark with his first foul. Vincent's playing bigger than Clark. Vincent's 6'5", and Clark goes 6'2", so he has a tough job. Now underneath there, Clark asks Dennis Meyer, the official, to watch Vincent and his pushing. Just watch that play underneath, and you see Clark having to go against Vincent. Long shot taken by Collins, no good. Rebound comes down to Pullen. There goes Askew. Askew dumps it off underneath there to Taylor. Well, Ross will just get his 4th foul there as the Tiger defense again did not get back to set up the defense. Antoine Ross was forced to reach instead of move his feet. He's called for his 4th violation. That's the 3rd foul of the half against the Tigers. And into the game replacing Antoine Ross will be Mario Bell. So Ross takes a seat here. 6:14 to go in the 3rd quarter. Ross leaves the game with 12 points, all of those in the first half.
I think if Coach Waddlington could change one thing, it's that cheap foul that Antoine picks up, takes him out of the ballgame. We miss his leadership.
There's an errant pass by the Bulldogs. It goes underneath as Taylor and Bell are on the break. They go 2-on-3, but they get the pass across, and Taylor is fouled as he tries to go up. Foul goes against Carlos Ivy. That's his second personal and the first team foul. Mario Bell with a chance to break into the scoring column. He'll shoot a pair. This one's up, off the back iron, no good. 5:58 to go in the third quarter. And this one rolls in for Mario Bell. So Bell with his first points. Here come the Bulldogs quickly down court. Man-to-man defense. Here's a trap in the corner. Skip pass across goes to McPeters, and he can't hold it. McPeters can't come inbounds and catch the ball without touching down first, so it's whistled out of bounds against the Bulldogs. And it goes over to the Tigers.
Both teams having just a little trouble getting cranked up here in the second half, Dave.
Taylor driving the baseline. Good pass, good look to Bell. He has it knocked away by Collins. Here comes McPeters for the Dogs. Forces on the bounce pass in on the low post to Vincent, and Vincent hits off the front iron, no good. Travis Clark playing good defense then. Made him force that shot a little off balance. Tigers against the Bulldog man. Underneath the Clark tries to do the turnaround drive, loses control of the basketball, has it knocked away, picked up by Sanders. That's McPeters. Top of the key, again gets trapped up in the air, has to force up the shot off balance, no good. Here's the down court pass to Askew. Give underneath the Pullen. Pullen with the turnaround, off the glass and in. Jason Pullen with a good baseline turnaround. Now the Tigers have McPeters in the backcourt. He skips it across the timeline to Carlos Ivy, and Ivy drives right through the heart of the lane and puts it down for two. And the Bulldogs with their first points of the second half, coming with 3.5 minutes gone in the third quarter. Taylor throws the lob to Askew, and Askew can't get the handle on it. And count it. So the alley-oop goes awry. The pass a little long against Askew coming from Taylor. But he stays with it. Pullen goes back up, drawing the foul against Scott Collins. Askew doesn't get it to fall, so he misses the chance for the three. Down court in the corner, wide open, number 31, that's Courtney Sanders, and Sanders gets his first points of the third quarter. He's got 4 on the ball game. Underneath.
Just a little ragged start to the second half, Dave.
Chris Barber comes in for the Tigers. Bulldogs with the ball in the back court. There goes McPeters as he drives, gives it underneath to Sanders, and Sanders with a nice basket. Sanders now with 6 points on the evening. That's Barber. Barber looks to the top of the post to Pullen. Pullen pulls up. Has Vincent in his face, so it doesn't go. Kind of forces that shot, and again, as you said, the Tigers a little ragged. That's McPeters. Over on the corner to Ruffin. Ruffin tries to drive the baseline. Now he pulls up from 12 and goes. So Sean Ruffin scoring his first points of the evening. Ruffin had 17 points in their last game, but that's his first 2 points. The Tigers now up 51-26, 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Knocked away by Vincent, and Vincent, as he tries to go after the ball, is called for the foul. So good defensive play, and then a little aggressiveness by Vincent, and he'll draw his first foul. That'll be the third team foul. Red Reddy comes back into the game for the Tigers, up 51-26 here with 2:57 to go. Tigers inbound underneath their basket. That's Taylor. Taylor running the point for the Tigers in the corner. Barber to Clark. Clark goes and gets Vincent off his feet, but still Vincent's able to make the reject. Down court pass for the Bulldogs. Vinson is going down for the two-point try, and he's fouled from behind, so two Tigers reject that basket, and the foul goes against Mario Bell. You see it coming down court. Ruddy almost got his hand on it. Here comes Mario Bell, and he's called. He does get him from behind. So Vinson gets a chance for a pair. First one's up and good. Vinson has his 6th point of the evening. And his 7th point of the evening. 51-28, Central on top. They led 42-18 at the half. So to this point, this is the best quarter of play for the Bulldogs. They had 9 points in each of the first 2 quarters. Shot in on the low post to Ruddy. Comes off the glass hard, no good. Come the Bulldogs back on offense. McPeters in the corner for Collins. Collins for 3. Rolls off, no good. Rebound Mario Bell underneath. Mario Bell brings it down again. It's 3-on-1. Nice bounce pass from Bell to Clark. Counted for Clark. Clark with 8 points on the evening.
We really showed some nice transition there, Dave, back the way we were in the first half.
Nice feed by McPeters in there to Vinson, and Vinson gets 9 points now. So Vinson coming up in the scoring. He had 5 in the first half. He's got 4 here already in the third quarter. There goes Taylor. Taylor drives down underneath, gives it to Barber, and Barber scores. So everybody in the scoring column now for the Tigers. Barber with 2. Tigers up 55-30, a 25-point lead for the home club. 3-point try by Ruffin, and count that one. Sean Ruffin gets 5 points on the evening, deuce and a tray. It's 55-33. Here's Taylor against the Bulldog man-to-man. Taylor goes to the baseline, puts it up, no good. Rebound by Ruffin. Now Ruffin brings it, slows it down past the timeline. Bulldogs set their offense. Vinson asking for the lob. In the corner there, that's Ruffin. Ruffin drives on the baseline, and a reaching foul there by Mario Bell. Bell called for his 2nd foul. As you see here, Ruffin gets a step on him. And rather than moving his feet, well, they say a body foul, as we saw in the replay there, goes against Mario Bell. A body check, and he said he got his knee into it. So at the free throw line is 1-and-1 shot for the Bulldogs. Will be Russian, make that Ruffin, Sean Ruffin. Ruffin gets his 6th point of the evening. Here comes the bonus. Ruffin's a 6-foot junior, had 17 points in last week's contest, and he makes them both. So Ruffin now with 7, make it a 55-35 lead. There goes Antoine, gives it to Travis underneath, and Clark scores. So Antoine drives the lane and gives it off to Clark underneath, and Clark makes the basket. 57-35 Tigers. 40 seconds to go in the third quarter. McPeters tries to drive, and he'll be fouled there. Give that foul probably to Alonzo. That's it. Alonzo Taylor gets his 2nd personal. Joe McPeters, a 5'8 junior at the line for 1-and-1. Peters made his first 2 tries. This one rolls in and off. Ruddy with the rebound. Here comes Ross. Ross looked to drive the center. Now he pulls up at the free throw line. No good off the back. There's Neil Askew with a good offensive rebound and answers with the basket, and he's fouled. So they have a chance for the 3-point try. Foul called there on Sean Ruffin. Ruffin with his first personal. 4th foul of the quarter and the half against the Bulldogs. Gorin checks back in for the Tigers. Jeff Davis, a 6-foot junior for the Bulldogs, comes in. So Askew with a chance for the 3-point try. Shoots off center at the charity strike, but it goes. Count it, give him 11. 1 for 2 from the free throw line, and the Tigers back up by 25 again, 60-35, 21 seconds to go. There's a lob into the corner, and the new player there for the Bulldogs, Jeff Davis, number 23. 13 also Alan Sheeter, newly into the ball game earlier this quarter. There's Collins, almost stolen away by Askew. Shot by Ruffin, no good. Rebound Ruddy, down court. One shot for Alonzo, and he blows it. Brother Antoine at the buzzer.
Well, it's showtime here at the Orange Bowl, Dave. Antoine can put on quite a show, and he's only 5 foot 10 inches tall.
Jump out of the gym, Bobby.
He's our answer to Michael Jordan. Here it comes again, Dave. Take a look at it.
He's even got a man in front of him. That's Collins. Collins lets him go by. Collins shows good judgment there just to let him go at it. Maybe trying to throw his concentration off, but Ross throws it down. And Ross has 14 points to lead all scorers tonight.
Kind of hard to front a jumping bean. He's our answer to Michael Jordan. Just doing a super job. And once again, I'm tickled to death to see our kids playing with such intensity here this evening.
So we're through 3 quarters of play here tonight. The Tigers with a 62-35 lead. As we said, that's the most prolific quarter for the Bulldogs. They had 9 points in the first quarter, 9 points in the second quarter. They come back with 17 here in the third quarter. But the Tigers matched their score with 20 of their own. The Tigers led 42-18 at the half. They led 18-9 at the first quarter. They lead 62-35 here. The Tigers defeated the Bulldogs 63-54 back on the 5th of December. And we're ready to go with the last 8 minutes of basketball. Robbie, you want to try a little play-by-play? Go for it.
Dave, Travis Clark controls the ball for the Tigers, drives and scores!
Clark with 12 points on the night.
Turnover by the Bulldogs and right back to Neil Askew. And Dave, I can't keep up trying to handle both ends of this thing. You better take over. I haven't got your experience. Little razzle-dazzle now as Benson slams one home for the Bulldogs. And Dave, it's back to you.
Tony Benson with his 11th point. So we've got the Tigers and Bulldogs matching baskets there. Neil Askew with a steal underneath the Tiger basket. Put the last 2 points in. There's Ruddy with a nice turnaround. He gets the feed from Neil Askew. And a steal again by the Tigers. Ruddy now with 6 points. Tigers set their offense up after the steal. That's Ryan Allen. Ryan Allen crosses it into Ruddy. Ruddy tries for the turnaround and go there for another basket. But he's fouled. And the foul against Bulldog player Jeff Davis, his first. The Tigers, Fred Ruddy, a 6'7" junior. Coach, you got one of your Meafs in there playing a little basketball tonight.
Well, Ryan Allen just checked into the ball game, and Dave, I'm real pleased to tell you that Ryan's going to be attending Southern Illinois University across the river with my dear friend Bob Smith and all the Salukis, and we're really excited that Ryan had a great recruiting season. He had an opportunity to visit with a lot of schools and has made his decision, and he's going to be a Saluki, so we're excited for him.
Well, he's going to play a little football for the Salukis over there. That's great. Well, it's good to see some Central talent go to play a little college ball. I'd love to see some of that happen right here in Cape Girardeau. There's Collins for a tray, no good. Bounces off, rebound goes to Sanders. Sanders throws it up, knocked off course by Travis Clark. Offensive rebound to Vincent, and he throws it up, no good. And Clark comes away with it. Here come the big men down court. Allen loses it, but gets it back again. Now to the point to Boring.
That's my big offensive tackle.
Ready to go. Here we go. We'll see the play as Clark goes up into the chair. And the high jumper for the Tigers bounds back over the chairs to come back onto the court. Coach says, great effort. Take a seat.
Well, Dave, he's a state champion in the high jump. He could probably jump right out of the gym. He and Antoine could have quite a contest here tonight.
No question about it. Turnover by the Tigers is good defense there. It's forced by Mark Thompson underneath. There's a pass underneath to Allen again. And a little hard. The offensive linemen play with their shoulders, not their fingers.
Well, he doesn't get to handle the ball very much in football, Dave, but he's an outstanding young man, a great student, and we're looking forward to seeing him in action across the river.
Ruffin backs into the lane, takes the turnaround from the free throw line, no good. Rivas with the board, and the Tigers bring it back on offense again. 5:57 to go in the ball game. The Tigers up by 23. That'd make that 33-point. There's Allen underneath, has it rejected by Vincent, out of bounds. So it'll be the Tiger ball in the far corner.
Tony Vincent's certainly a young man to be reckoned with inside. He's rejected several shots here this
He's
evening.
playing a little bigger than his 6'5". He's put a couple of people with the ball back in their face. Mark Thompson.
Sure, anytime you can stuff a Travis Clark with the ball, you know he's way up in the air.
5-second call against the Tigers. And a turnover. Back into the game for the Bulldogs, Alan Sheeter, number 13. And newly into the game is Chris Maris, number 25, a 6-foot junior for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs trail by 33, 70-37. That's Collins. And we've got a timeout for the Bulldogs here with 5:36 to go in the ball game. Let's take a quick break, these important messages, and we'll be back for the conclusion of this ball game at the Orange Bowl.
Carver's Floral at 100 South Sprague in Cape specializes in beautiful flowers and happy customers. Carver's offers fresh and silk flowers and green and blooming plants. They also have a large selection of balloons, too. Whether it's a wedding, funeral, or you just want to say, I love you, say it with flowers from Carver's Floral. Arrangements by Joyce at 100 South Sprague. Member FTD and AFS. Your Visa or MasterCard is welcome at Carver's Floral, a proud sponsor of exclusive sports coverage here on Channel 28.
Call for a foul there as
Number 24, Matt Bourne.
it's his first violation. At the line for the Bulldogs will be number 23, Jeff Davis. He'll shoot 1-1. No good. Tipped over to the side, and he gets the rebound, does Jeff Davis. So the Bulldogs back again. Here's a long three try. Draws iron by Ruffin. There's a foul. Foul will go against Charles Rivas. Rivas gets his third foul of the evening in the ball game for the Tigers. Chris Barber, number 20. At the line once again is Jeff Davis. This time Jeff Davis should be shooting a pair. Into the game for the Bulldogs, number 41, Kevin Lawson. Lawson played in the junior varsity game tonight. Lawson's a 6-foot junior. 2 shots for Jeff Davis. He's not scored yet tonight. Rolls in and out, no good. Tigers lead 70-37, 5:19 to go in the ball game.
Well, both coaches getting an opportunity to clear their bench here a little bit, get some of their youngsters an opportunity to play.
This one goes, so Davis breaks into the scoring column. He has 1 point this evening. Mark Thompson at the point for the Tigers. Man there by Sean Ruffin. Almost has it knocked away, and that's Barber trying to save it. Chris Barber, but the ball goes out of bounds off the Tigers' hands, and the Bulldogs with a turnover. They trail here 70-38. Into the corner, that's Davis. Davis back out top to Ruffin. Davis fakes his man, gets Rivas off his feet, throws it up, no good. Ball tipped around, Rivas gets the rebound, outlet pass to Ryan. Ryan goes to the basket, and he's hammered from behind.
Well, the big guy's used to taking a slamming inside, but he got hit pretty good there, Dave.
Ryan Allen, yes sir, he did.
I'm not real sure he's going to try to stuff that one. Here we got the replay. The big horse goes up. Now he's 6'5", about 235, and he takes a pretty good shot.
Well, that's Jeff Davis who goes up against Ryan. Ryan's going to have a pair. He'll have a chance to break into the scoring. Left-hander shot's good. And he draws a big cheer from the partisan fans here at the high school. They like the senior. The senior's a good attitude guy. He plays several sports. Works hard, and he cans them both. So Allen with 2 points, and that does give everybody but Sean Van scoring tonight. Van not in the ball game right now. He played a little while in the first half. There's a 3-point try. Rebound by Mark Thompson. Down court pass goes to Barber, knocked out of bounds there as the Bulldogs get back quickly on the transition game. In there to defend is Alan Sheeter. Into the game for the Tigers, Mario Bell.
In the Tiger lineup, number 14, Mario Bell, replacing Red Running. Well, right now you can see that the Tigers are having fun out there playing. The kids, big smiles on their faces and helping each other out. And this is the kind of attitude that Coach Waddlington was looking for coming down the stretch.
You got to have fun playing high school athletics, Bobby. It's not worth it if you can't have a good time once in a while, if not all the time.
Remind me of that next fall, would you please, Dave?
I sure will. Basket try by Alan Sheeter, no good. Down court again, here is Barber, and he tries the two-handed jam, no good. Off the Tigers' hands. Barber had the breakaway as he got the down court pass for Mark Thompson. It didn't go.
Thank goodness for breakaway rim.
Here we go. We'll see
that
he gets it up. Just doesn't quite get enough on top. Three-point try by Ruffin, no good.
Well, things just a little ragged coming down the stretch, but you got to be enjoying it if you're a Tiger fan.
No question, 72-38. The Tigers on top here. 3:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Dick Waddlington letting everybody in. A look underneath. There's Ryan Allen as he tries. No good. Is knocked to the deck. Rebound by Rivas, and Rivas another putback, and has his fourth point of the evening. 74-38. 3:30. Three-point try by the Bulldogs. Give that one to Chris Morrow, and Morrow scores his first points of the evening. There's Mario Bell, pulls it up at the free throw line, almost goes, no good, knocked out of bounds, saved there by Barber, but saves it into the hands of the Bulldogs. Here's Davis. Davis in the corner to Kevin Lawson, and Lawson with the banker.
We saw Kevin earlier in 2 points. 2 points.
Nice pass, nice look by Mark Thompson in there to Barber, and Barber tries the turnaround and doesn't get it to go, but he's fouled. Foul goes against Jeff Davis. We'll see underneath the basket there. Mark Thompson looks down underneath. There he is. Barber tries to go up, but he's hammered by Jeff Davis. Davis gets foul number 2. Chris Barber will shoot a pair. This first one is up, and the rim's out, no good. Barber with 2 points on the evening. Here comes the second try. 2:52 to go in the ball game. This one off the back iron, no good. Charles Rivas with the rebound. No good. Ryan Allen with the tip, and we'll count that one.
Tiger basket by Will Allen. They got to be grinning here at the Orange Bowl, Dave. Great performance by the Tigers.
Well, it doesn't have anything to do with the PA announcer, does it? Wheels Allen, is that what we said?
Well, we're trying to, everybody's having fun here at the Orange Bowl.
Blocked by...
And he stuffs one.
Bulldog shot taken by Alan Sheeter, no good. Thrown back up there again by number 33. We'll give that to Sean Ruffin, and Ruffin gets his 9th point. Tigers slow it down to set their offense. Mario Bell. Mario Bell, a fine baseline drive, and he has 3 points on the evening. Alan Sheeter for the Bulldogs. Drives around, Reeves loses the ball, but saves it back into Jeff Davis. There's Ruffin for the Bulldogs. A steal by
Here we go. Can we get a showtime? Yes!
Well, the feet go out from underneath Chris Barber. Barber with his 4th point of the evening as we see it again here. Barber gets it down 2 hands, and then his feet go out from underneath him, but he gets the points, and his arm is hurting. And the officials call a timeout. Barber must have come down on his hand, maybe hit his crazy bone a little bit.
Well, watching the replay, Dave, he was way up and looked like it maybe just undercut him slightly. Here it comes again.
Well, Chris going up. I think he just kind of hung on and let his feet fly a little bit.
I believe you're right after looking at the replay.
And it looks like he was coming down on his left arm.
They're going to take him out of the ball game nonetheless. Looks like he's okay. They're going to check the quarterback, Matt Bourne, into the ball game. Into the Tiger lineup, number 24, Matt Bourne, replacing Chris Barber.
Barber with 4 points.
I tell you something, Dave, if Matt Bourne stuffs one, we can all go to the place tonight.
Boren gets through the backcourt pressure of the Bulldogs, dishes it off to Charles Rivas, and Rivas with the banker, and Rivas now has 6 points on the evening. 82-45, a minute 8 to go. Shot taken there by Chris Morros, and he's hammered. We'll give the foul to Matt Boren. That could have been a toss-up. Charles Rivas and Boren both came across the shot of Chris Morros, and he'll shoot a pair. Things pretty quiet over on the Bulldog bench. See both Rivas and Boren going after him there on the replay. And Morris misses them both, but the rebound goes to Jeff Davis. He throws it up, but it's not good, and the Ryan Allen rebound and the outlet pass to Mark Thompson. Thompson misses. Bell with the rebound. He's rejected, and the ball's knocked out of bounds by the Dogs. So it's Tiger basketball underneath the basket. 51 seconds to go. 82-45, a Tiger lead. Thompson, head fake. Shot, no good. Rivas rebound, up, good. Rivas with 8. 37 seconds to go. Ruffin for 3. Count it. 12 points for Ruffin. Ruffin is scoreless in the first half. Has got 12 here in the final quarter. 22 seconds to go. Bell tries to drive through the line. Tried to pass in underneath to Rivas, but it's knocked out of bounds by the Bulldogs. So Bell inbound. The toss up to Rivas. Rivas goes up. He's fouled. They could give that to any one of 3 Bulldog players, but they're going to give it to number 33. Ruffin will be called for his second foul. To the line for the Tigers. Number 15, Charles Rivas.
His second. That's one for the Tigers. Number 50, Charles Rivas.
He'll shoot a pair. First one no good. Rivas with 8 points, all from the field tonight. Second try. This one bounces high and doesn't fall. Rebound Bulldogs. That's Ruffin. He brings it down. 15 seconds to go. Bell with pressure in the back court. Throws it over into the corner. That'll be number 23, Jeff Davis, and Davis gets his 3rd point of the evening. Clock counts down as Bell tries it. No good. The last second shot by Mario Bell. And the Tigers big winners here tonight over the Bulldogs, 84-50. The Tigers beat the Bulldogs 63-54 on December the 5th, and they soundly defeat the Bulldogs here, 84-50. As you said, Robbie, a great effort on behalf of the Central Tigers here tonight.
But Dave, it was an exciting ball game all the way around. I'm sure that Coach was pleased. I'm sure there were a couple times defensively we got a little bit ragged, but for the most part, I think the seniors showed great leadership, held the team together, and all in all, an outstanding performance. All the Tigers got in the ball game, and I think with the exception maybe Sean Van, did Sean score tonight? He did not, but other than that, every one of the Tigers was on the scoreboard. Some outstanding